And again, like I said, if you have a particular question, please feel free. But I just think it's pretty easy. What? Yeah, I know, but you're just gonna have to be patient. You know what I mean? Because again, I feel somewhat obligated to go ahead and just have all of the answers worked out and all of them posted. All right. That's why I'm saying some of you guys. What I was saying. Listen, you just have to either do your work or you can listen to the problem when you get there. All right. Is everybody with me on that? Because I want to have it all. I want to have it all worked out. Okay. So number one. All right. Write an algebraic expression for the sum of a number and 8. Obviously, that's going to be what? C. All right. 27 decreased by a number. Yes. 27 is what's being decreased. All right. And number 3 would be the product, correct? Because you're multiplying. And then addition is what? Sum. Now, in this case right here, you know, you're allowed to use a calculator, but if you use a calculator on the entire test, you're not going to get finished. All right, so there's little basic order operation stuff I think you should be able to just do mentally. Of course, you would do what's inside the parentheses first. That's 5, and then 5 times 6 is 30. All right, now you're evaluating for 6. 2 times k would be 22 plus 5, which is 27. Adding 0 is the additive identity. All right. If you forgot a property or you want me to explain something, I'll be happy to do that. All right. So feel free, ask a question anytime you can interrupt if you need me to. What?
What is the inverse property?
Inverse is when you're doing a plus negative a. They cancel each other out. The other multiplicative inverse would be like a times 1 over a. All right, those cancel out. Good? All right, so here we go. For number 8, they're just trying to get you to see it's better to just use commutative property. So that's 20, and that's 10, which makes 30. All right? Simplifying, don't forget you can only combine like terms. Should be adding 7b and 2b, and that's what? 9b plus 3c. All right. Now for number 10, we're distributing. So that would be 5 times 2, which is 10g, and then 5 times 3, which is 15. So that would be 10g plus 15. Number 11, order of operation. So we do 4 times 1, 6 times 16. 4 times 1 is 4. 6 times 16 is 96. 4 plus 96 is 100. All right. Which of the following uses the distributive property? So what they're wanting you to realize, if you wanted to, you could separate that as 12 parentheses 100 plus 80 plus 5, and then distribute. 12 times 100, 12 times 80, and 12 times 5. All right, that's how, believe it or not, people multiply quickly in their head. They're using the distributive property. All right. So again, that answer would have to be what? D. All right. Find the solution. Now, what this is saying is your only possible answers are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. That's all that's saying. All right. Let's say our answer was x equals 10. Would there be a solution? No, because 10 is not in the solution set. All right. So in this case, we already automatically know the answer was just what? 3. All right. Here we go. Number 14. It says a car rental company charges a rental fee of $20 per day in addition to 30 cents per mile. How much does it cost to rent a car for a day that drives 25 miles? So it would be $20 plus 30 cents per mile. Do I agree with that? And 25 times 0.3 is $7.50, right? So that total is $27.50. All right, which I believe is C. Which statement best describes the graph of the price of one share of a company's stock shown below? All right, so what happened to the price? Well, it definitely didn't decrease, so I like to do that. And then the price increased more in the afternoon than in the morning, or the price increased more in the morning than in the afternoon? Yeah, it definitely increased more in the afternoon. All right. Let me know if you're not sure about something. All right. Domain. Everybody needs to write down the domain is simply the list of the what? X values. And now the other thing I try to tell kids, remember, if you don't remember, you can Google domain and it'll explain exactly what it is. All right. So if you forget something, take the time to look it up. So what are the X values involved here? Right. So what I always try to tell kids is go down that X value, that X value, that X value, and that X value. So the X value is -1, 0, 1, and 3. Anybody have any issues with that? All right, that's good. Determine which relation is a function. Remember, yes, ma'am.
Sorry, that makes when you put them in numerical order.
What didn't I do?
Oh, I thought it was negative. I thought it was -2 in the second.
Well, you're looking at the Y value, not the X. That's a good mistake. So the first coordinate is -1, 1, right? The second coordinate is 0, -2, and then 1, 3, and then 3, 1. And we're looking for the X's. All right? Perfect. That's what I want. Speak up if you don't know something. Because again, it's old. All right? Now, a relation is a function if all of the X values are different. A relation is a function if all of the X values are different. In A, are the X values different? No, because 2 is mapped, we say, to 3, and 2 is mapped to 1. So that is definitely a no. All right? Uh-oh. So now, B is the equation of a line. We know that the equation of a line is a function. All right, the only line that's not a function is the vertical line. All right, but all other lines are functions. Yes. Has nothing to do with the y's. It has everything to do with the x's. Every x has to have one y. This x has two y's. This x is written twice, so that's not it. 3, -2, 7, -2 is written twice, not a function. You hear me? All right. Number 18 means plug -9 in, correct? So that would be h of -9 is equal to 2/3 times -9 minus 6. Everybody okay with that? And so now, -9 divided by 3 is -3. -3 times 2 is -6. Minus 6, -12. Any questions with the functional notation? Any questions with functional notation? Yes.
I'm sort of confused. Why didn't we then make h instead of just h times -9?
It's not h times -9. It's h of -9.
Oh.
Right. That means the y value. All right. So if x is -9, the y is -12. All right. Here we go with number 19. What is the y-intercept? All right, so let's circle it. Here is the y-intercept. All right, the y-intercept is the y value when the x value is 0. All right, since February 2005, there were 8 social networking sites in February of 2005. So big with that? Everybody okay with that? The y-intercept is just the initial amount. All right, what?
I thought it was percent of
You know what? I think you're right. Thank you. So look right here. I didn't read that. I just looked at the first part. Right, that's what I'm saying. Very important. So these right here, it is the percent. All right. Now, it's the percent at the beginning. So again, the beginning is what? February 2005. So it says, yeah, that looks like to me about 8%. About 8% of those polled used a social networking. Thank you, Bo, again. You get the star for the day. All right, so correct answer is B. All right, let's go on. Interpret the end behavior. All right. Honestly, we didn't really talk about the end behavior, so don't worry about number 20. Just cross that out. All right. All right, let's look at 21. Write an algebraic expression for 9 times the square of a number. 9 times the square of a number is C, right? Write a verbal expression. 7 more than twice a number. That looks good to me. I'm okay with that? Number 23, we have to do the multiplication first. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 6 is 12, minus 1 is 11. Number 24, 11 minus 5 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Now we have to do the 9 divided by 3. 12 plus 3, 15. Anybody have any issues? Any issues? All right, let's move on. All right, evaluate x squared. So x is 3, so if I square, that'll become 9. Plus, now we have to multiply 3 times 5 times 4. All right, 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 4 is 60. 9 plus 60. There we have. Number 26, the multiplicative inverse. So we just discussed that earlier. So they have to cancel out. Yes, it is C. All right. All right, let's look at 27. 29 times 1, 29. Plus, now let's do what's inside the parentheses. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Answer is 29. Any questions? All right. 28. Combining like terms. 1r squared plus 3r squared gives me 4r squared minus 2r cubed. Correct answer, A. Everybody good with that? All right, let's get 30. Distributive 6x plus, we could do what here first? Just make that what? 3y, right? So let's just do that, even though it wouldn't have mattered. 3 times 2x plus 3y is equal to 6x plus 9y. B. Now for me, it doesn't really matter. I would have just added this and said 6 times 21, and of course that's 126. Now, okay, the simplifying, you've got to distribute twice. So 2a plus 6b plus 12a plus 3b, combining 12a and 2a makes 14a plus what? 9b. Correct answer, B. Now here's how I expect you to do these fractions, right? So pay attention here. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. 2/5 and 1/5 is 3/5. So that's 14 3/5. All right, I know you did not do that on the calculator. Do not do that on the calculator. All right, you're in trouble if you're doing that on the calculator now. All right, should be good mental math. All right, now for us, this is pretty good mental math, right? Add 11, multiply by 2, so the correct answer is what? Good, 28. Now, just to be sure, n over 2 minus 11 equals 3. Add 11. N over 2 equals 14. Undoing division is multiplication. So n equals 28. All right. Somerville High School raised $740 to buy winter coats for the homeless at $46.25 each. How many coats can they buy? So here it's just 740 divided by 46.25. Someone help me out with that. What was it? 16? Anybody else get 16? Good. All right, just strictly a calculator. All right, so which statement best describes the stock price? What is it? The price did not change. That is correct. All right, the price did not change. All right, now again, practicing the domain. Same questions. If you notice as we're going through here, they just kind of repeat. All right, so the domain starts with that x coordinate. What is that x coordinate? It looks like -4, right? So it can't be D. Then the next one is what? -2. So it can't be A. Then -1. Is there 1 on 0? No, so C is wiped out. Correct answer was B. Everybody okay with that? All right, here we go. What's true about that? The what? Yeah, it's definitely not a function. It does not pass the vertical line test here, guys. All right, so it's not a function. $38. Determine which relation is not a function. To me, it looks like what? Tell us. B, I believe. Because -3 has 2 values. Do you agree with that? Again, we don't care about the end behavior. All right, Bo, I don't want to make another mistake. So tell me about this one. Interpret the Y-intercept. I don't think so. What do you think? Definitely. The Y-intercept means what happens when x is 0. When x is 0, the total cost would be what? $30. Now, some of you might be saying, how could 0 bracelets cost $30? Because in business, you have startup costs, right? So you have all the costs associated with what? Making the bracelet before you start. All right, is everybody okay with that? Everybody good? All right, here we go. Now, 41. Find the value of f in the equation when m is 100 and a is 32. All right, so this is not hard. F equals 4/5. What's 200 minus 100?
100.
Plus 132, right? So 4/5 of 100 is 80. 80 plus 132 is 212. Everybody pretty good with that? Twice a number, m, minus 3. Well, it's not twice the difference, so it can't be a. Twice a number minus 3. Twice a number minus 3 equals the sum of m and 5. Sum means to do what? So it looked like B was correct. Everybody okay with that? All right. Translate the following equation. Is there a quotient here? No. A number x plus 5, that's good so far, is 2 times the sum. Everybody happy with it being b? Everybody good with that? All right, 44. We're adding 18. So the correct answer was what? 15. Dividing by 5, answer is 7. Now on 46, don't forget we multiply by the reciprocal. So that would be 5/3, right? And 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 47, 2t plus 1 equals 3. Subtract 1. 2t equals 2. T equals what? 1. Yeah. Okay. Isn't 3/5 of 25 15? You see what I mean? Right, so to solve a fraction, remember now, good question, you just multiply by the reciprocal. 5/3 cancels, right? And then 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. All right, here we go. A number is added to 9. So a number which we don't know is added to 9. The result is then multiplied by 4 to give a result that is what? 120. Did I agree with that? Now instead of distributing, I can just do what? Divide. So 9 plus x equals 30. So x equals 21. Everybody okay with that? All right, absolute values. Here we go. If I plug 1 in, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 5 is, absolute value of -3 is 3 plus 1, 4. Yes? Yeah, of course. You get the same answer. All right, now we got to review absolute values. All right? So remember, absolute value of c minus 5 equals 7. The rule is you write it twice. So c minus 5 equals 7. C minus 5 equals -7. Add 5 to both sides. C equals 12. Add 5 to both sides. C equals what? -2. So 12 and -2. What? Remember the absolute value, what's inside the absolute value can be 7, or what's inside the absolute value can be -7. So we set the equation equal to 7, and we set the equation equal to -7. That's all right. Go. For which number are you talking about? Where b is 1, right? So I put 1 in for b. It doesn't say b is 1 or -1, right? That's the difference. You're substituting in, not solving an equation. All right? Which ratio forms a proportion? Proportion just means equal fraction, right? So 7/14 is 1/2. 1/2 is the same as 3/6. Everybody okay with that? Here we just, hopefully remember from, 5th and 6th grade, you just multiplied by 6, right? Of course you can cross multiply, but that would be easier, wouldn't it? So 12. Everybody good with that? All right, let me see something. How many problems are on here? Oh, not much. Yeah, not much. So I'm pretty happy with this. All right, so here we go. Let's knock out 53. So 3t minus 6 equals t minus 2. Subtract t. add 6. So I end up with what? 2t equals 4. Divide both sides by 2. T equals 2. Everybody okay with that? Number 54. Distribute 4t plus 4 equals 6t minus 1. I like to subtract 4t. I like to add 1. So I end up with 5 equals 2t. So t equals 5 divided by 2. And 5 halves is the same as 2 and 1. 55. Distributing 5g minus 10 plus g equals 6g minus 24. 6g minus 10 equals 6g minus 24. When does that happen? When does 6g minus 10 equal 6g minus 24?
Never.
Never. That is correct. No solution. All right. Here we go. Solving for A. So let's bring this over. This was the hard part for some kids. You're isolating A, so you have to add 5. AX equals B plus 5. And now I divide both sides by X. So B plus 5 over X. You be happy with that? All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, what happened last year was they changed the book around. I don't think we did percent of change, did we? No, we didn't do that. So 57, they changed kind of the order. So 57 was on last year's. 58, I don't care about that, even though you should be able to do it. Okay, so let's look at these. The word problems are the hard ones. So. Okay, let's see. All right, it says here that Joe and Jenna leave home at the same time, traveling in opposite direction. Joe drives 45 miles per hour, and the other person drives 40 miles per hour. How many hours until they are 510 miles apart? Well, think of it like this. First of all, we know that distance equals rate times time, right? Here is Joe going in this direction, and Jana, or whatever her name is going in this direction. So we agree with that? One person is traveling at what? 45 miles per hour, and the other person is traveling at what? 40 miles per hour. So can somebody tell me after every hour how far apart are they? So in 1 hour, somebody else help me. How far apart? 85. You're correct. Does that make sense? Right? So after 1 hour, they're going to be, if this is 1 hour, they're going to be 85 miles apart. Does everybody agree with that? Right. So now, remember, they're traveling at the same time, correct? So Joe is going at 45t, and Jenna is going at what? 40t. Their distances together have to add up to what? 510. So 45t plus 40t equals 510. 85t is equal to 510. And so t is obviously equal to what now? 6 hours on that. All right. That was good. All right. All right, let's look at 60 real quick. It says, in Death Valley, California, the higher ground temperature recorded was 94 degrees. All right. So C represents the Celsius, F is Fahrenheit. To the nearest degree, what is the highest ground temperature in Death Valley in Fahrenheit? Well, remember, this is Celsius, so we put that in for C. So 94 equals 5/9 times F minus 32. Now, once again, instead of distributing, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. When I multiply by the reciprocal, that'll be what? 9 over 5. So everybody with me on that? So that cancels. And then that's going to be, what is that? 846 over 5, I believe, is equal to F minus 32. And now you just add 32. So somebody take your calculator. Let's do that. 1692169.2 plus 32. 201.2. Is that right? 201.2. Yes.
Is it okay to multiply the whole thing by 9?
Yes, multiply by 9. Then divide by 5. That's even easier. All right. So we'd say roughly 201. All right, anybody have any questions? All right, listen, we still have like 11 minutes, right? Yeah, what? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right, I was thinking I was going to call it today, but I just realized we got some more time. I can finish these off, I think. All right, so let's do 62. And then what we'll do tomorrow is we'll work on the next review. All right. That's what I really want you doing tonight for homework. All right. So 62, let's see what this says. It says Mandy begins bicycling west at 30 miles per hour. If Liz leaves the same point 20 minutes later, bicycling at 36 miles per hour, when will she catch up to Mandy? All right, so this is kind of a good problem. So let's look at this. I'm going to draw this down here. So all right, so here we go, guys. So Mandy's starting, all right, and she's traveling at what? 30 miles per hour, right? Do we know how long she's traveled for? No, T. Do you agree with that? So this would be T. So can somebody tell me her distance? Mandy is equal to what? Well, why 36? I just got 30 T, right? Does everybody agree with that? Now, the next person takes off after her. Liz. How fast is Liz going? 36. Now, if it's not greater than 36, is she going to catch her? Come on, now this is the one you have to listen to, guys. If you're not paying attention, this is the one I think you should listen to. So how much time is she traveling for? Tell me. It says this person takes off riding her bike, so she's going this direction. Then 20 minutes later, this person starts, and they're traveling, and when do they catch up? How long is she traveling for? Tell me, Bo. Very good, man. T plus 1/3. How'd you get that? Somebody else. How'd you get 1/3? What?
20 minutes is 1/3 of an hour.
Yeah, 20 minutes is 1/3 of an hour. Right? Now, is this person, is Liz traveling 1/3 hour more or 1/3 hour less? Less, right? So instead of plus, should have been what? Yeah, minus. Does everybody agree with that? All right. And what can you tell me is true about their distances? They are going to be what when they catch up? The same. So your equation is just 30t is equal to 36 parentheses t minus 1/3. All right? That's just the amount of time. All right, so let's solve that out. If I solve that out, that becomes 30t equals 36t minus what? Is that right? Minus 12. So 6t equals 12. So after what? 2 hours. Now, I'm not sure that's the answer to the question, right? What's the matter?
How is it 12 if it's minus? It's 1
A third. 1/3 of 36. What's 1/3 of 36?
Oh, I know what you're doing. It's doing
Right?
36 minus 12. You distribute.
Right, I distributed the 36. What?
So I did 20 instead of 130, and then I got 140 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. I don't care. It gets the right answer, but I'm not sure what the question is. When will she catch Mandy? All right. What time?
I have a question.
Hold on. I'm asking a question. I'm asking everybody else a question.
Oh.
What time?
1 p.m.
So she leaves at what time?
11 and then
Right.
2 hours later.
2 hours later. So it would definitely be what? 1. Now what's your question?
Did you make 16 a positive in your head? Like, because wouldn't it be negative 16 is negative 12? So this-
No, I moved the 30 over and the 12 over. That's how I do it. I keep the variable positive. All right? That was 62. Let's take a look at 63. We didn't do a mixture problem, guys. Right? Yeah, we didn't do the mixture problems. So 63 is out and 64 is out. Yeah, and 65 for that matter. That's okay, guys. All right. So 63. So we are now done with chapter 1 and 2. All right. So tonight, look over what you didn't know and start what? Start chapter
3.
3, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, this is 1 and 2, right? All right. All right. Good job, guys. Keep working. Keep working. Let me turn this off. Sorry.